fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrò ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀nràn pa òrí dání wọn. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀ orí ẹni ní pé kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe làlà òtọ́ láì bá dé. Stress of ìdákùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ là dálé ayé. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Mo jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣẹ̀rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn má ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó ọ̀yàn òun ló wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá wọ́n kì í lá tẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ a ò mọ̀nú ẹ̀yìn ayé yẹn kó rọra ṣe ṣọ́ra ṣọ́ra. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tí ẹ là dálé ayé. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Mo jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ là dálé ayé. Kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ilẹ̀kùn bá jẹ́ ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣòwò tí a là dálé ayé. Àgbà tó ti fi tó mọ̀ ńlá. Yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sùn pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ikú pàlà mi ọ̀rọ̀ ní ọ̀lọ́lọ́gbà ògiri. Àmì ẹ̀dá tó wọ́n ti fi gbogbo ìbàjọ́ra ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́.
Yes, so good evening, my people. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another special edition of the Jabbajantis Show. I am your regular host, Akin, and this is the platform where we talk nonsense, the platform where we don't hold anything back, the platform where all we do is try to open ourselves up to new realities, open ourselves up to new truth, where we try to sharpen our perspectives and see things from other angles, where we try to unsettle mindset and then inspire people towards a path of change. So if you are listening to me for the first time, I welcome you specially. And I guarantee you that every minute you spend on this show will count for value. So you are not wasting your time by connecting to this live broadcast, or if you will be catching up with the recorded session later on, I guarantee you that every minute of this show will add value to your life. This show comes up every Friday, 9 p.m. till you know 10, 11, depending on how deep we have to go. So please join us, be part of what we do here. And as you're coming in, please help me share this on your platforms as well. Help me invite somebody to connect. You might be saving lives. You might actually be, pulling someone out from the brink of maybe destruction, and it will count for you for good. Every word that comes out here serves a purpose, either for you, for somebody else that will hear it through you, or for somebody that would come at a later date to hear it. But one thing I know is Oroki Kuo. It's there forever. And as long as what we say here is from a genuine heart, it will serve purpose and it will be relevant for generations to come. Right. I welcome the people on YouTube, Ekaleo, my people on Twitter, and silent listeners on Facebook, and my other co-hosts. I'll start referring, you as co-hosts, especially people who, keep the comment section buzzing. You are my co-host because thank you very much for always turning up and for always endeavoring to turn up early. I thank you very much. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀kálẹ́ o, ẹ kú àtàárọ̀, ṣé wà dáadáa o. It's a pleasure to have you on the show again. And I greet you, Ebun. Ìwọ ló tún gba high table lẹ́ni o. And Bugai tún pọ̀ gan, It's like Usain Bolt. Tó máa tún encourage àwọn tó fẹ́ bá sáré kan tún lọ díẹ̀ ahead of him. Toró mọ̀ pé ó máa bá wọn ni. Ó tún bí ẹ̀gbọ́n ṣé kò fílẹ̀ fún wọn. Ọmọ ó ti sure fún ẹ gan nìyẹn o. Anyway, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Apostle ni máa kí ẹ o. Apostle ń jayé lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ń bí o. Àwọn ń ṣe fàájì lọ́n tí wọn. Right. I will from time to time give a shout out to other people that indicate their presence as we proceed in the show. But in order not to waste your time, I want us to get quickly into the discussion we have for today. Mo kí yín o, ìyálé ọ̀kan. Àwọn mọ̀mọ́ nìyẹn o, àwọn tó ń tì wá lẹ́yìn nìyẹn o. I greet you specially, man. Ẹ kálẹ́ o. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Àwọn gidi silent listener nìyẹn. Wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni mọ̀ pọ́n wà ń bẹ̀. Thank you very much for joining. My sister, I greet you, Esther Adiola. Sister mi tó fluffy. How you doing? Can you be our American? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Accent yẹn máa ń fọ́ nísìnyí nílùú bẹ̀rẹ̀. Gbogbo nǹkan lẹ́ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé. Ẹ máa pe mobile, ẹ máa ní mobo, tí mobo. Gbogbo nǹkan lẹ́ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé. Wàhálà yín pọ̀ ń lu yẹn. Anyway, mo kí yín o. Ẹ káalẹ́ o. Ọ̀pọ̀ yín lè ní díẹ̀ ṣàbọ̀ at least. Wọ́n yẹ pé ṣe number 3. Right. Let's get straight into the discussion of tonight. And I hope more people will join us as we progress. If you have not shared the show, please help me do that. Just share the link on your profile, put it on your stories, send out the links to maybe your contact people that you know that yes would want to be a part of this, and then let them join us and see what we do here. Right. So what do we have to talk about tonight? The discussion for tonight is what I titled self-confidence. Now, I know many would have seen this topic and okay, but maybe you never know. And that's why I encourage you, come here with an open mind. Don't look at the topic and come with a prepared mind. Only my gain kankan. But come with a blank mind, and pretend. Let me use that word. Pretend as if you're just hearing that topic for the first time. That's how you can, receive, because your heart is ready and willing. And báwo kí ni ẹ bá ṣe ń wọlé, màá kàn máa gbé yẹ̀wò, àdé máa rí pé ó make sense. So I want to approach this discussion in a different way. I want to approach it in a more practical way, because as you all know, I don't speak on this platform from a professional angle. I don't speak from a point of view of academics. So I talk more based on personal experience, personal meditation, and personal research. And it is from that perspective I want to approach this discussion as well. I'm not a certified therapist to say I can teach you how to improve your self-confidence, or I can, give you a tailored program on how to take your self-confidence from 0 to 100. I'm not promising you that, but I can discuss this from a point where you'll be able to relate with everything I am saying. And from that, you have a foundation to build on to work your way up. Most of the things or most of the changes I've recorded in my life are, are, are things I did on my own. There are things I worked on myself personally. I haven't stepped um, into the office of a therapist before. I haven't visited a counselor or a shrink or anyone like that before. All I do is identify my issues, either directly or the ones that they point out to me, and I take my time to um, work on myself. The changes won't be overnight, it's gradual, and you have to give yourself time. But one thing you must um, not do is to lie to yourself that um, you're working on it when you are not, or is to um, not want to admit that yes, you need to fix up in this area and that area. So um, even what I'm about to discuss tonight is something I have watched out in people even from when I was very young. When I was so young that I could not put some of these things into words, when I could not, form a name for them, when I can't even describe them. But vividly I can pick up these vibes. I I I think I'm a little bit um, good in what they refer to as verbal communication. When you look at people, body language, their eyes, their movement, their gait, signs that talk, even though not in a verbal form. So there are men in those days that I've watched how they carry themselves, and repeatedly I see certain traits in them that are consistent. And even since then, I've tried to pick on these things and hold on to them as things that I would want to um, implement in my own life. And I'm talking about years and years and years ago, right from my primary school days. Now that I'm an adult, I can um, now put names or description behind these things, because over time I've seen other men that have shown or displayed such traits. So, and as I grow, not in age, but grow in terms of um, mindset, in terms of my being, in my core, um, I've been trying to work on these things myself, because I see that it's very important. It is an important thing to have. It makes life so easy for you when you are confident. It makes you approach issues, complex issues with with relative ease. You have clarity in the way you approach life, in the way you do things, and you have control over everything that's happening around you. And that is what confidence does to you. So when we talk about self-confidence, it's an inner feeling of the ability you have, the belief you have in your own abilities. Now, it's inner, but when these things translate externally to the way you live your life, to traits that people can see, mo dẹ̀ láì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ṣe máa ń láì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ṣe máa ń gbéra ẹ̀, mo láì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀. And that's when we talk about confidence. When we see those things on the outside. Oftentimes, self-confidence and self-esteem overlap, but they're different. They're different. Confidence, like I said, has to do with your abilities. On the other hand, self-esteem is the value you place on yourself. So it's normal to see people who don't have both of these qualities. And you might wonder, why should you have one and not have the other? That is where they differ. That's where the difference comes in. So you might find someone that is good, in certain areas of their life. They can do these things well. They have skills in this and that. But they might still suffer from low self-esteem if they have doubt in themselves, if they actually doubt their own worth. So people see them that they have these abilities, but they don't value themselves as much. And when you have low self-esteem, you cannot operate at your optimal level. Despite your abilities, you will still not be where you should be. So I just thought I should make that distinction between both of them. Erelu mo kí yín kalẹ́ o. Ṣé wà dáadáa o? Tí miss rárá, àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà ni. Àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o. So ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ. Mo kí yín o, sister mi. Ọ̀kọlà tó sexy. Adekemi Adeagbolawumi. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Right. So the way I want to approach this discussion, like I said, is not to teach you as an expert how to, have self-confidence or whatever. No. I just want to go through a list of traits that you find in confident people. So self-confidence is inner feeling. But when we externalize it, when it shows in the way we live our lives, then you see that certain people are distinct. When you see them, either from afar or close to you, you admire them. And we have people like that around us. I've been picking up vibes like this from when I was very young. There are men, unfortunately, most of them want to dagba, want to lọ síbi àgbáńrìn. Many of them are not alive anymore. But the image of them, Timo capture on is permanently imprinted in my mind. Kò lè kúrò, you know. Even though none of them actually open their mouths to verbally influence me, it is me watching them regularly. When I see them, I see certain consistent traits in them which I really admire. And láti ìgbà yẹn náà mo ti mú àwọn vibe yẹn tí mo mọ̀ pé mo máa apply àwọn ilé, mo máa apply àwọn ilé. So, like many of us too, confidence is a trait that most of us aspire to, to have. And then, we see people who naturally just carry themselves with confidence. They do everything with ease. The way they speak, they're so deliberate in everything they do. They're so intentional the way they act. It's nothing other than what they feel inside that they are, displaying on their outside. And if we go through some of these traits together, I know you can check yourself if you have any of this. While checking yourself, you'll be able to see areas that you need to work on to be on this level. And also, you have people around you that maybe you have misunderstood. Now you'll be able to relate and say, okay, so tẹ́ni fi ń hùwà báyìí, okay, tẹ́ni fi ń gbéra ẹ̀ báyìí ni, it's because it's this, it's because it's that. So, yes, that's how I think we would be able to approach this discussion tonight. Thank you for those who have shared the show. And ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ṣì ń rò náà, Ọlọ́run á bọ́kàn yín sọ̀rọ̀. Right. Along the line, I will touch briefly on what separates a confident person from an arrogant person, because sometimes a man confuse méjèèjì papọ̀. And the issue is what you don't understand, you condemn. And that's why discussions like this are equally important. Tí nǹkan bá ti yé ẹ, ò ní misconstrue ẹ débi wípé wàá máa gbé ẹ̀bi fún ẹni tó yẹ kó gbẹ́bi fún, ọ wàá máa label àwọn èèyàn ní nǹkan tí ò yẹ kó pè wọ́n. So let's run through the list I have. So the number one thing you find in a confident person is that they are authentic people. And they place value on authenticity over popularity. Somebody who is confident doesn't go out there striving to be popular. No. Àwa la máa ń rò wípé wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ àwọn ni, or they're doing everything they're doing to be popular. No. Confident people don't value popularity. Well, not that much. You know, they don't actually set out to be the center of attraction. All they want to do is just to be themselves. A confident person never hides who they are. And it is through this display of their authenticity that they get to be known. It is through this display of their true self that people get attracted to them. All eyes now focus on them because they don't blend with the crowd. No, they stand out. And they don't care what people might think of them. This is who they are, and that is who they are. And who they are is what they show. What you think of them, they don't really, take that serious. And through this, they attract people who share the same, mindset with them. They attract people who are also walking that path. When they inspire them and people be like, yes, hey, and that's how they gather the popularity that you think they strive to have. It is through who they are, their core, that they don't try to hide, that they become popular. So a confident person, they are real people. They don't hide, they don't bend. That's who they are. And who they are, they carry it anywhere they go. And that's what set them apart. That's what makes them unique, because everybody else is trying to blend. They don't try to blend because they are confident in who they are, and they display wherever they go. So that is one trait. Like I said, when I list out these traits, check yourself. See areas where you can align. I'm not a professional counselor. I'm not a professional therapist or anything. So I'm not speaking from that angle. I'm speaking from real life experience. Something that you can relate with. Something that, look around you. You will see people like this around you. You must have misunderstood them and labeled them, as maybe arrogant, rude, or whatever. But I'm here to correct that impression and also, point you in the direction of how you can also, work on certain aspect of your life to become confident as well. Now, another thing you will find, another trait you'll find in confident people is that fear doesn't stop them from doing what they have to do. Now, I'm not saying confident people are fearless, because ṣàṣàlẹ̀ ń tẹ́ máa rí láyé tó jẹ́ pé kò sí ẹ̀rù. Wọ́n ní tọ́mọdé bá débi ẹ̀rù á bà á. Level by level ni. There are certain things that don't scare people anymore, and there are certain things that still scare some people. But kò sẹ́ni náà láyé tó jẹ́ pé kò sí nǹkan kan tí ó sì ní dẹ́rù bà. So I don't think there's anyone in this life that is fearless. They might not show it, because that is what we're talking about, right? But one mọ̀ pé that moment of ó wà ńbẹ̀. But what made them different is that despite that moment of, fear, they still go out there and do what they have to do. They feel that fear, but they still go ahead regardless. Now, what gives them this push is simply that how do I put it? It's simply that that feeling that, look, whatever happens, they will take it. All right? Now, when we feel fear, when we're about to do a thing, many of us will pull back. But what sets confident people apart is that they're ready to take whatever comes. If they want to attempt maybe a business or a project, there's that fear of loss. But they will still go ahead regardless, because they don't feel ashamed to fail. They don't feel embarrassed if it doesn't work out. They have that resilience to bounce back. They've taken it as part of life. That, look, tẹ́ṣin bá dá ni èèyàn máa ń dìde, èèyàn tuntun kan ni. Why many of us are concerned with what will people say? If I fail, won't they laugh at me? If I fail, will I be able to start again? Confident people don't struggle with this. They don't care about how people will feel if they fail, if they don't get it right. They don't care. They take pride in the fact that they attempted it. So, confident people are those who face their fears. They see the fear staring at them face to face, and they confront it. They don't hide. They don't turn their back. So while other people will avoid our fears, confident people don't. They look their fears face to face. They confront their fears. Whatever issues they need to deal with, they deal with it headlong. They don't try to cut corners or hide or pretend no. And they set their mind, if I fail, I fail. If I fail, I learn from it and do it again. I don't care whether people will laugh or snare or jeer or whatever. It's part of life. It's a learning process. This is how confident people approach every of their tasks. This is something for you to learn as well. Another trait you find in confident people is their optimism. They are positive-minded people. Yes, when they analyze issues, they are very real, but what they say to themselves are not self-limiting words. So we've talked about it on this show, how you can ask yourself questions that will, you know, weaken you, as well as you can ask yourself questions that will empower you. So confident people know how to ask empowering questions. They know how to look at things from the perspective of positivity. So they look at a half glass of water and say it's half full rather than say half empty. That is their approach to life. All the time they are prepared for things not to go as planned. So wọ́n ti fàyè lẹ̀ fún nǹkan láti dàrú. They know how to absorb shock, pressure. They don't see those things as setback or problem. No, they see it as opportunities. Ìtẹ́lómi tẹ́wàá máa rí tá máa complain. Àwọn máa jókòó àwọn máa wò pé what is in this for me? They see problems from the point of view of opportunity. If I'm able to solve this, what level can this take me to? Why many of us see problem from the perspective of ọ̀nà irú àdánwò wà tó wá lélẹ̀ báyìí. Ó ṣe wá jẹ́ mi nìkan. But confident people will look at this and say, okay, what is in this for me? How do I approach this? Because they know that once they can solve this problem, it's taking them to a higher level. So this positive mindset is what you find in the lives of confident people, and it works for them, because the way you think is what you become. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are, and who you are is how you think. So if your mind is always kò lè work, it won't work. If your mind is always kò lè bọ́ sí, kò ní bọ́ sí. If your mind is always àdánwò ilé máa wà pọ̀ gan, á pọ̀ ní. So this is something for you to consider as well. How do you see things? How do you assess situations? From what point of view do you look at things? Kò tó. Àbí ó máa tó. The same thing náà ló ṣe ń sọ, ṣùgbọ́n èdè ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló fi ń sọ. Èdè kan ń já ẹ wálẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n èdè kan ń fún ẹ ní àfojúsùn ń pó máa dáa. Kò tó ó yàtọ̀ sí ó máa tó. One is giving you a positive outlook. The other one is putting you in a negative space that is killing you, making you dejected, making you feel low, making you feel like nothing is working for you. So confident people always look at things from that positive outlook. They are very optimistic. They don't shy away from reality, don't get me wrong. Bó bá ṣe yẹ kán wo nǹkan ni wọ́n ṣe máa wò. gbogbo ìṣòro tó bá yẹ kán rí nínú nǹkan tó bá wò critically gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa identify, but they don't see those things as ń pé kíní ò ní ṣeé ṣe. Wọ́n á rí i wípé as how do I solve this problem? So they take everything up as a challenge rather than barriers or obstacles for them not to move forward. Right. Another thing, another trait you find in confident people is how they maintain their cool in the midst of turbulence. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wọ́n lẹ́tún máa sọ pé àbọ̀gbẹ́ni ẹ̀kọ́ ló ní nǹkan báyìí ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ni. I mean, we've heard stories. Tó bá ní tó bá jẹ́ mi ní ẹni yẹn nǹkan báyìí ti ṣe mí, nǹkan báyìí ti ṣe mí. And you wonder how people like this are able to maintain their peace. Àwọn ẹlòmíì kí nǹkan kékeré kan báyìí tó wọ́n ti dàrú. And when you are not able to maintain your cool in the midst of confusion or stress, nǹkan máa wà complicated sí ni, because you will just keep making errors after errors after errors, because you're acting from a confused state of mind. You're not seeing clearly, you're not thinking clearly. Confident people don't behave like this. When things don't go as planned, you won't find a confident person flapping all around and panicking. No. They keep their cool. They control their emotion. They control everything that is happening around them. They even they take themselves out of the situation to try and clear their head. I used to be a chronic worrier before, if there's a word like that. Wọ́n ti dàrú. Later mo rí pé ìdàrú yẹn ò solve nǹkan kan. Màá tún dá ẹ̀sàn sí èèyàn lára ni. So anything tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀, I tell myself, orí ni kó rò má ronú. Orí ni kó rò má ronú. I'll be repeating it to myself. Ṣẹ̀gẹ́ orí ni kó rò má ronú. Orí ni kó rò má ronú. So all I'm trying to do is to stabilize my mind, not to go into overdrive. To calm myself down. Ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀. How do we come out of it? Start thinking of how do we eliminate, elimination method. Okay. Káyọ̀ ilé, ṣó lè jẹ́ ilé, ṣó lè jẹ́ tọ̀hún. Start thinking. People who have mastered this so well even try to just put that issue on one side. They won't even discuss it. Being about one key one, no, worry, it's nothing to worry about. They just take themselves out of it completely, and they'll come back to it. There's a wise saying that if you've just come out from a mud and you try to wash the mud off your feet, wàláì ó lè wà ńbẹ̀ 2 hours wàá máa fọ amọ̀ yẹn kò ní tán. Torí bó ṣe ń fọ amọ̀ yẹn lá máa pọ̀ sí lẹ́sẹ̀. The wise thing to do is to just come out of the mud and stay for like 10-15 minutes. Ó tiẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù gan. Kátẹ́gùn fẹ́ sẹ́sẹ̀ yẹn kámọ̀ yẹn gbẹ mọ́ ẹ lẹ́sẹ̀. Clay soil is a kind of soil that dries quickly. Wá ti gbẹ mọ́ ẹ lẹ́sẹ̀ á hard. Ẹ̀kan tó bá bomi ṣàn báyìí ẹsẹ̀ máa mọ́ ni. Ọ̀ tó bá ń try láti fọ amọ̀ kúrò lẹ́sẹ̀ nígbà tó wet, wàá ṣe wàhálà gan. So it's that same analogy that you can apply when you are in a confused situation, when you're facing stress, when everything is not going as planned. In that state of mind, you can't do anything. You can't function. So don't force it. Just leave it. Let it dry. Let it settle. Clear your mind. Then you'll be able to approach it in a better way that you will find a solution. This is what I've noticed in confident people. Àwa la máa bá wọn kẹ́dùn. Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sà. Wọ́n ní kí no, má worry. It's nothing. Mama wa bi it's nothing. It's nothing kẹ̀. Ẹ ṣàdúró owó inú ẹ ní it's nothing. No. It's fine. No. I'll recover it. Kí lẹ ti wá ṣe sà? No, me tell you anything for now. But no, just leave that for now. I would I mean, I'm gonna resolve it. Gbogbo ìgbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn wọn ò ní any solution. But that is their approach to life. That's how they see things. Dem máa wo gbogbo èdè tó ń pè jáde lẹ́nu. No, má worry, I'm gonna resolve it. The empowering words. Every èrò ọkàn wọn. It empowers them. It energizes them that look, I will turn this situation around. I'll bring good out of this bad situation. So that's something for us to learn as well. Again, can we comment section and see what's going on there. I greet you, my sister, BCR Rogues. Èèyàn dáadáa. Àwọn èèyàn Ọlọ́run yẹn. How you doing? The American mo fẹ́ máa kí gbogbo yín sí. How you doing? Yes. Ẹ̀gbọ́n is agreeing with me. Confident people are always cool and collected, standing on what they strongly believe and their own truth. Yes. Confident people don't give a shit, basically. Yeah. Who cares? They can pin question. My sister said I had to tell myself this same thing. If I worry from now till tomorrow, it won't change what happened. So why am I giving myself an unnecessary headache? It's not always easy, but I have to force myself to accept it and move on every time. Yes, 100%. I agree with you. Ọ̀bẹ gé ọmọ lọ́wọ́ aṣọ̀bẹ nù. Ọ̀bẹ ti ṣe tó máa ṣe now. What we should focus on is how to band that kid's hand. Kí infection má tún wọ̀ débi wípé á di egbò tí ò ní san bọ̀rọ̀. The focus now is not on the knife. Máa jọ̀bẹ mọ́lẹ̀, máa lẹ̀ mọ́ nǹkan, máa jẹ́ nǹkan yẹn ò dá nǹkan kan. Ọwọ́ ọmọ tó gé òní kẹ̀ jẹ́ ká focus lórí. What do we have to quickly stop the bleeding? What do we have to cover the open wound? Kó má bàa wà infected. Analgesic wo la ní láti lè fún ọmọ kó lè jẹ́ kí pain yẹn kó pamọ́lẹ̀. Àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ ká máa rò nìyẹn. Not dwelling on what has happened. So confident people don't worry themselves about what has happened. They think of way out. They think of lessons to gain from it. In the midst of it, they are cool, they are calm. They only act after they are able to clear their head. Erelu says worry changes nothing. Absolutely nothing. It changes nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me my younger brother, Mr. Jalal Payemi. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, bro. I'm a professor here. And he says, these are great stuff you're sharing tonight. Once you've lost your confidence, you have very little left. Yes, yes, yes. Without confidence, you can't achieve much in life. You are not in control. And when you are not in control of of your life, otibo, otibo. Confidence is what gives you control. As we progress, you will see. Because pé mo sọ èèyàn máa rí topic yẹn wá ní àti gbọ́ lè rí, but it's not, kì í ṣe tó gbọ́ rí ni mo wá sọ. Tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tó ti gbọ́ rí ni, on this show a máa sọ bó ṣe gbọ́ rí. And that's why I said we talk nonsense here. We weave sense into norm. Norm are things that, they're not new. You're used to them. You've heard them before. That's your current reality. Gbogbo tá a bá yí mọ́ ẹ lọ́wọ́, wá wá pé oh boy, eléyìí tún gbẹnu tán. And that's what we do here. Bring different perspectives to things. So when you say someone is confident, ó kọjá ń pé ó láyà, ìyẹn kọ́ là ń sọ. Ó kọjá ń pé ó láyà. Àwọn nǹkan tó form ń pé èèyàn ní confidence òun là ń sọ lálẹ́. And as we are mentioning them, you can check your life and see what areas you need to improve on. Kò sẹ́ni tó jí lọ́jọ́ kan tó dà nǹkan tó dà. Gbogbo wa, we are work in progress. So when you identify area of your life that you need to fix up, you have to be intentional about it. I need to work on this area. It will take time, but tó o bá ti juwọ́lẹ̀, you will actually, turn things around. So confidence is important. It's important. It gives you that grip of your life. It puts you in charge. It puts you in control. And àwọn tó yí ẹ ká náà mọ̀ pé no, ẹ gbàgbé ẹ̀, eléyìí mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe. Naturally, wàá kàn dàbí magnet ni. Because àwọn èèyàn á rí pé wọ́n lè di everything mú gádígádí. Wọ́n á rí intentionality behind everything you do. So another trait you find in confident people is that they have the courage to admit their own feelings. And I use the word courage. To admit that you are weak in this area. To admit that you fail in this area. To admit that yes, mo fuck up and be when you are called out on something. It takes courage. It takes even more courage to apologize when you know you are in the wrong and that you've done something that is not right. So a confident person don't try to hide. When they are called out, they chest it. They own up to their own shortcomings. They own up to their own mistakes. Because they understand that these things don't define them. These things only show areas that they need to work on. So calling them out doesn't show that you are demeaning them. They don't see it that way. They look at it from the point of view that yes, okay, this is another shortcoming of mine that I need to work on. And that's why they're not defensive. They take it and then they check it up and see where they need to fix up. Many people, when called out on certain things, will get defensive. Confident people instead, they man up and they try to try their best to put these things right and work on it, um, to fix up these things. Mistakes that you admit is easy to correct. The one you correct, you don't repeat it. And this is what confident people understand. They chest their mistakes, they own it. No argument, nothing. They raise their hands up. Okay, no problem. Admit this. And then they're willing to work on them. Admitting your mistakes or fault or shortcoming does not define you. It doesn't demean you. It doesn't take anything away from you. It only reveals to you what else you need to work on in yourself. And the more of these things you can find, the better you can become. So that's another thing for you to take note of. Egbon says confident people are not ashamed of their vulnerabilities. Yes, they are not. So another thing you would find with confident people is that they are realistic about their own abilities. Now, this is where we will make a distinction between confidence and arrogance. A confident person understands clearly their limit of competence. There is nothing to be ashamed of to say, I cannot do this. I don't know how to do this. And this is what confident people realize about themselves. They know their limit. They will not allow people to drag them beyond their limit of confidence, their limit of competence. Wọ́n gbéṣẹ́ wá fún ẹ tó lè ṣe motivation Africa àti báyìí ẹ jẹ́ pé just find a way. Wọ́n náà wá gbà ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ò lè ṣe. A wá dàrú mọ́ ẹ lọ́wọ́, a wá borúkọ ẹ jẹ́. A parọ́ sínú CV. Pé wọ kọ̀ǹpútà kìíní kan ìgbà kan àwọn kankan wọ́n á gbéṣẹ́ yẹn fún ẹ tán wàá máa làágùn díẹ̀. No. It's an arrogant person. Arrogant person that will try to convince other people that they can do what they have no ability to do. It's only an arrogant person that would subject themselves to be held to a higher standard that they can keep. Arrogance. It has no confidence. So if you start to mix it up in here, when you can't do a thing, you can't do it. When you don't know a thing, you don't know it. That does not that does not that does not reduce you. You even gain you even gain báwo máa ṣe put ẹ̀, you even gain more respect from people when you can confidently say, you know what, no, this is not my field. I don't have um ability in this. I'm not competent to do this, and so sorry, I decline. Ìyè á tún pọ̀ sí i ju pé wàá lọ ṣàyà gbangba. Ẹ má wọrí, màá handle ẹ̀, màá handle ẹ̀, á lè ṣe, á lè ṣe. Wàá tún wàá máa sọ àwọn irọ́, àwọn nǹkan tó ṣe rí, wàá máa sọ láyé kínní, mo handle kínní, àwa ń bẹ̀ nígbà tó ń ṣe wàá gbé ẹ síbẹ̀ tán, wàá fọ́ǹbù bí olórí burúkú. Àwọn kan máa ní ẹ fílẹ̀, confidence ló ní, wọ́n yàn ní confidence ní òfin lọ síbẹ̀. That's not confidence. That is arrogance. And this is where we need to make that distinction. So the line that separates confidence from arrogance is you knowing your limit of competence. And a confident person understands this limit. A confident person don't need to exaggerate their abilities. They live in a real world. They're not afraid to admit that, I can't do this, I don't know this. No. They're very authentic. That was the first thing I mentioned, at the start of the discussion. They're very authentic. They don't add, they don't try to fake things. No. Nǹkan tó mọ̀ ṣe lọ́mọ̀ ṣe, nǹkan tó mọ̀ ṣe wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe. They don't need to embellish things just to win the admiration of other people. No. Their skill set is their skill set. And they own up. Ẹlòmíràn sọ pé irọ́ nínú business èèyàn kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, òun láti ní hustling instinct, òun láti lè gbà, òun láti lè náà. Àìmọye irú ẹ̀ tó ti gbà tó ti há ẹ lọ́fun. Àwọn irú ẹ̀ tó ti gbà tó ti kó ẹ sí wàhálà. Gbèsè tẹ́lòmíì rọ́ san lénìí, kan tí ò lè ṣe ló lọ tẹ́rí sí, ló di problem sí lọ́rùn tó wá ń san, tó di gbèsè sí lọ́rùn tó ń san, orúkọ ti bàjẹ́, owó tún jẹ gbèsè. Instead kó dẹ̀ jókòó kó nǹkan sọ fúnra ẹ̀ pé nǹkan ìwà wèrè ló ń wò, òun wà tó arrogant ló jẹ́ kó ń lọ́yàn. No, a máa blame àwọn ẹlòmíì. Àwọn èèyàn lé bàbá ẹ̀ tó jókòó jẹ́jẹ́, á tún láwọn ni wọ́n ń ṣe òun, ni wọn ò fẹ́ kóun níláárí. Àwọn tó wà láround ẹ̀ tó fọjẹ ní kinní yẹn, àwọn ló tún máa tún blame. Òun gangan ò ní jókòó kó rò pé tó yẹ kí n tiẹ̀ involve ara mi nínú kinní in the first place. Mi ò mọ nǹkan kan pa ẹ̀ náà. So it's arrogance that will make people not know their limit. They want to prove to everybody that they can do everything. So check yourself. You must have a limit. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ní limit. O mọ nǹkan tó tó, o mọ nǹkan tó tó. Má fi ra ẹ pé nǹkan tó tó. Nǹkan tó tó òun ni kò jẹ́. So another thing you would notice in the life of confident people is the way they carry themselves. A confident person hold themselves in a particular way that is just admirable. Their gait, the way they stand, the way they walk. they exude that calmness, the exterior calmness. Ara wọn balẹ̀, wọ́n ń ṣe gana. They carry themselves with grace. Tó bá move, wá dàbí pé wọ́n ń glide ni. They're not flamboyant. They do. Their mantra is less is more. Their mantra is simplicity is high level thinking. Their appearance, they know how to put things together. They don't overdo things. They know what fits, they know what doesn't fit. They know what is appropriate for every occasion. When they talk, they make eye contact. They know how, they understand social graces, how to behave in public, what to say at the right time, how to keep quiet when you don't have better things to say. You should only open your mouth when what you have to say is better than silence. But if what will come out of your mouth will ruin silence, then don't talk. Just keep short. Confident people don't feel the need to talk all the time because they're not impressing nobody. But when they open their mouth to speak, Father Lord, wàá mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ọpọlọ ló ń jáde. So when you see people like this, they're just an embodiment of confidence. Bàbá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọn around, they speak clearly. When they speak in public, they captivate every of their listeners. Their tone, the pauses between their words, their engagement with the audience, everything they do with grace. Somebody that comes to mind as I'm discussing this now is the vice president, the current vice president, Osinbajo. In spite of how muddled and how murky the waters of Nigerian politics is, he hasn't really been messed up. I mean, within their cycle there, they still accord him, a certain level of respect. Gbogbo bùlábà tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Níbo lẹ ti gbọ́ kó surface? No, and he's still there. Not granting any interview, not speaking to the press, not trying to show himself that mo ṣì wà ń bí o, àwa la ṣì ń ṣèjọba. Àìjẹun ológbò kọ́ ni ò jẹ́ ó tó ajá. Bí wọ́n ti ń mọ níran wọn nìyẹn. So it's not a matter of ẹjájà fi wàdùwàdù ṣe káwa náà kán lè mọ̀ pa wà ń bí. Confident people don't do that. Confident people don't do that. So check yourself. Kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ rí mi, Ọlọ́run ṣetán tá a fẹ́ nìyẹn hàn ni o. You are confident in yourself. O ní máa tẹ orí àwọn èèyàn pé kán lè mọ̀ ẹ́. Ibi tó o bá wà, wọ́n á wá ẹ wá. Kò sí tó wà nù ẹ̀. A máa fi ẹ́ hàn, kò sí bó ṣe sá pamọ́ tó. You will still stand out. ìwà á máa sá pamọ́ bọ̀ wọ́n á máa wá ẹ jáde. It's what you carry. So another thing you find in the life of confident people is that they speak with convictions. They speak with conviction, and they don't force their own opinion on people, right? But they're so confident in what they believe in. They're very assertive because they're not confused people. They have clarity in everything they do. So when they're dealing with others, they're willing to listen to you, hear your contribution, but they know how to align what you're bringing with what they have set in their mind. So you must do everything from a point of convictions. You must be able to explain why you do things. You don't just wake up and just act mindlessly. You must be able to explain every of your actions. Why am I doing this? Why did I say that? What end am I trying to achieve by saying this? They're very intentional about everything they say because they speak out of convictions. If they're not sure about a thing, they don't go ahead with it. They're not people that live for maybe, probably, abi, tabi. They're more of I will, we should, it will. That's how they act. Wọ́n sì ń di yìí jẹ yóò jẹ wọ́n ń fáyé ta kàlòkàlò. No. They're very, very, very assertive. That's another trait you need to try and imbibe. Another thing is confident people are risk takers. As we all know, risk is not something that many of us are attuned to. Many of us run away from taking risk, and of course that has limited the success or achievement of many of us. But confident people don't see risk as something scary that they have to run away from. They look at it from an angle of a potential opportunity. Remember, I said it at the earlier part of the discussion that these people are very optimistic. They are very, very positive minded. Yes, they're realists. They look at issues, they see all the problems and challenges and whatever, but that does not deter them from acting or going further in what they want to do. So, where we see risk and pull back, they see risk as opportunity, potential opportunity for them to cross to the other side. So, They take the risk and they are open to whatever the outcome is. If he fails, they take it as a learning curve. If he works out, they enjoy the success. But one thing with confident people is they enjoy stepping out of their comfort zone. They love trying new things. Then they're not dogmatic. They're open to change. They love experimenting. They're adventurous. You know, they're open to facing the fear of the unknown. Last year, I think we discussed how people fear the unknown, that they prefer to suffer the familiar pain. This is not the mantra of confident people. They step out into the unknown. So I remember when I wanted to, make my relocation here, and the last person I spoke with told me, "Oh, don't you think you're leaving certainty for uncertainty?" I told the person, "I've tried certainty, it didn't work. I have nothing to lose if I try uncertainty. So whatever happened, let it happen." But with that mindset, you're likely to succeed, because yeah, what can happen beyond the worst? Nothing. Nothing. And when you have that disposition towards life, you face anything. You face anything. So um another thing about confident people, which is why I've left the most comment up till this time, is that not only are they not ashamed of their vulnerabilities, they show it. And that takes a heck lot of confidence to display your vulnerability. Many of us try to cover up our weaknesses because we think people will exploit it. People will take advantage of it to hurt us. But what confident people do is, like I said earlier, they've given allowance to everything that can go wrong to go wrong. They're open to potential hurt. And the reason why they don't try to hide is because these people don't go about with mask. They live an authentic life. When you come across them, you know who they are, who they are not. Many of us go about with mask. We're not our true selves when we're dealing with other people. Part of it is because we don't want to be taken advantage of. On this show, sometime last year when we're talking about a relationship, I think I've mentioned why people keep, you know, um, um, having failed relationship, like meeting the wrong people all the time. And it's because they go out there wearing masks. They wear masks of who they are not. One thing you don't realize is every persona you display out there attracts somebody. So because you don't want to be taken advantage of, and you are a very nice, lovely person, o wá gbé mask àṣà wọ̀, o bọ́ síta. Àwọn kan wà tó ń wá àṣà. Wọ́n ń wá èèyàn tó ní gánrangànran nínú ìwà. Tó bá dẹ̀ rí nínú ẹ̀, that is what attract them. I was watching an interview of of a couple where the man was saying, I think the host asked them what attracted you to the woman, and he said because she was stubborn. He said her stubbornness was what attracted me to her. Meanwhile, stubbornness èèyàn kan làwa kan máa rí tá máa fi sá pé wá eléyìí gbọ́ràn, ewúrẹ́ leléyìí kì í gbọ́ràn. No. So for every personality trait you have, you are an attraction for somebody. So when you go out there with the wrong mask, or with the mask, not wrong, with the mask, try to disguise who you are, you'll be attracting people who take that mask as who you are. And ló máa máa súnmọ́ ẹ. So tọkùnrin bá wá approach ẹ̀ ń sìn tó wá ń treat ẹ bọ́n ṣe máa ń treat àṣà, wàá máa wá ẹ̀ pé but àbá ló ń treat mi báyìí, but nǹkan tó rí tó attract ẹ nìyẹn. So if you are confident in yourself, you will go out there as a lovely, kind, nice person that you are. Not minding that you'll be taken advantage of. So this is what sets confident people apart, from fake people. They show their vulnerabilities. And also, it's what set them apart also from arrogant people. Because confident people are willing to show their vulnerability because they're confident in themselves. They're not afraid of whatever anyone would do to them. Whereas arrogant people might appear confident on the surface because of the way they do gra. But beneath that, that surface show off lies weakness. They're actually weak because they're using that gra to cover something up. So a confident person clearly wá ẹ má fobìnrin tempt mi o, mo sọ fún ẹ o, màá náà lẹ́dà o, wọ́n ti sọ fún ẹ o. Wọ́n ní try láti máa sọ pé irọ́ o, no mo ò ṣerú èèyàn, no mo ò ṣerú èèyàn bẹ́yẹn, mo ò ṣerú èèyàn bẹ́yẹn. But at the end of the day, ẹ wá gbọ́n pé wọ́n ti balẹ̀ jẹ́ lọ. Confident people are authentic people. If through the show of their vulnerability they get hurt, they learn from it and know what to do better next time. That's how they live their life. They learn on the go. You see, the lessons that you don't earn are dangerous. Unearned lessons are dangerous. Because kò ní tọ́jọ́, kò yé ẹ, wàá ṣìlò. O gbọ́ ni, o hé ni. Ṣùgbọ́n tó là kọjá, tó mọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀, tó mọ̀pin ẹ̀, tó lápá fún, ìyẹn ló nítumọ̀. And this is how confident people try to learn. Another thing you'll notice about confident people is that they attract people. They are like magnet. They They are attractive personality. And the reason is not far-fetched. The way they carry themselves, the genuineness, living their truth, makes people draw to them, makes people feel comfortable around them. It makes people see them as somebody that they can, open up to. You have something to share, you can walk up to them and speak to them because you know that they don't judge. You know that they are very open-minded, they are very understanding. You know that they are, level-headed, they are real people. So they have a way of drawing people out of their shell. They have a way of making people trust them, you know. And if you have people like that in a group, they are mostly the glue that holds a unit together because they know how to, handle everyone. They know how to connect people together. They don't feel threatened. They don't try to lord their own authority over people. They have no fear. They have no shame. They're not there because they want to be popular or known. And guess what? Despite not doing all these things, they still wield so much power and authority because people surrender this to them. They're not the one asking for it. But by not asking for it, people still surrender it to them. They don't seek a position. People want them to hold positions. Because, people see that leadership trait in them. They see how they are selfless. They see how they step in to help other people. They see how they just, they prefer to walk behind the scene. They don't want to be the face of anything. They want to be the one pulling the string behind the scene and, they push other people to take the glory, but they're the one just doing this stuff. So naturally, people have huge respect and admiration for them. And people will want, a person like that to lead them. They want a person like that in their team, in their company. They want a person like that in their circle. And another thing you would find in the life of confident people as I round up is that they understand what they call boundaries. Boundaries. They understand boundaries. They don't live their life to please other people, as well as they would not be over familiar in the way they relate with other people. So they set boundaries for themselves. And don't pè ní má kọjá yìí ẹ, yes. They allow the people they're dealing with to say, ẹ ti jìnnà, ẹ súnmọ́ BC, ẹ súnmọ́ BC. Kì í ṣàwọn ló máa ṣàgbàǹgbà lọ sí àwọn ẹ̀pà ẹ̀sùn sẹ́yìn wà ẹ̀bà kí ló dé no. So wọ́n ń jẹ́ kí wọ́n lé wọn padà sẹ́yìn kó tó kan tó àwọn ti rọra fira wọn sípò. Wọ́n ti fira wọn sípò ọ̀wọ̀. So bọ́n ṣe fún àwọn èèyàn míì bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n set boundary yẹn fún ara wọn náà. So they know how to keep people where they want them to be. Wọ́n mọ ẹni tán fẹ́ kó súnmọ́ àwọn nígbà tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó súnmọ́ àwọn. Kò sí wọ̀ṣọ̀wọ̀ṣọ̀ láàrin confident people. You can't find that wọ̀ṣọ̀wọ̀ṣọ̀. No. The cycle is small but quality. They put themselves first in anything. And I encourage everyone to do this. Because if tables were turned, other people would do the same. Why they want to help other people, they won't do it at the detriment of their own happiness. I've said this several times here. Bó bá ṣèèyàn láàánú, ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó fún èèyàn ó ń láti jẹ́ tó wà ní ìkáwọ́ ẹ̀. O fẹ́ fún èèyàn lówó, owó tó nílò lè fún èèyàn. O ò lè lọ yáwó fún èèyàn. Wrong. And when you have a need and somebody comes also with a need, you have to understand that your need comes first. So I'll give you an example. You have £1,000 in your hand, and within that week you have an obligation of £800 to settle. Then somebody approaches you for an urgent 1K. Very pressing need lẹ́ni yẹn ni. Bó ṣe wá yẹn, làákàyè yẹ kó sọ fún ẹ wípé ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó lè ṣe fún ẹni yẹn kò ju £200 lọ. The moment you try to meet that person's £1,000 need, ẹ ti ṣe nǹkan tó ń pè ní role reversal. Ìwọ náà ti bọ́ sípò tẹ́ni yẹn wà yẹn. Ìwọ náà ti need the urgent 800k. Ẹni ò sí nípò àìní mọ́, ìwọ ló wà nípò àìní nísìn. Then you now start going about with a begging cap. Àwọn èèyàn máa wò ó pé kí ló ń ṣe ẹ o, get life together, ọmọ pò ní bíi báyìí láti san ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá yẹn. Meanwhile, ó lówó yẹn lọ́wọ́, kì í ṣe pò ní. Àánú ló lọ ṣe. Àánú ló sọ ẹ́ sípò aláìní báyìí. So, confident people do not help other people or make other people happy at their own detriment. They know how to use the word no. No, táwa máa ń wò ní negative word yẹn. Confident people understand that it is a positive word when used properly, when used appropriately. So they know when they can help, they know when they cannot. They know the extent of assistance they can render to other people. They know the one that will cause them pain and problem. So they know when to draw a line. And they don't feel guilty about this. Whatever people will say about them, based on their refusal to render the help or assistance, they don't really care much, because ọkàn wọn jẹ́ wọn lẹ́rìí wípé táwọn lè ṣe òun lélẹ̀. So they don't feel burdened with emotional blackmail that other people are coming with to make them um, go beyond what they should. No. So, and also when it comes to, I do say this: you can't change other people. You can't control other people. What you have control over is your own side of things. So, ètí wàá fi máa make effort láti change èèyàn kan tó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ yabayaba ò ṣe gánrangànran, o lè má succeed in doing that, changing that person, because you can't really change people. But what you can do is you can set boundaries on your own side. How you want people to behave around you, how you want to be approached. So tẹ́ni ẹ bá ti ń ṣe gànràngànràn sọ̀rọ̀ jabajaba gbogbo èèyàn tó bá dọ́dọ̀ confident person á meet boundary yẹn, á dẹ̀ adjust, or kó má bá ẹ ní nǹkan kan ṣe pọ̀. And when it comes to somebody tó jẹ́ pé repeated violator ni, all the time ló ń níwà ọ̀fẹ́ bá títí wọn mú and stuff, a confident person is never afraid to cut ties with people like that, because they value their own mental well-being. They value their sanity, they value their peace of mind. Dandan kọ́ lèèyàn fi ń báàyàn rìn, dandan kọ́ lèèyàn fi ń báàyàn ṣe pọ̀. A confident person don't hold on to people who cause them pain and stress. They let them be. They cut ties with them because they value their own peace of mind. And then, lastly, remember I said at the start, self-esteem and self-confidence. While self-confidence has to do with your abilities, self-esteem has to do with how you value yourself. So you can have great skills, you can have good, strong abilities, but you can have low self-esteem if you don't value yourself. So, people with confidence have healthy self-esteem. They love themselves. They don't wait for validation of other people. They don't wait for other people to come and tell them, oh, you are this, you are that, before they, feel good about themselves. While they might not be the most beautiful or the most handsome, or they might not have the best of things around them, wọ́n ní ìtẹ́lọ́rùn nínú nǹkan tí wọ́n ní. Nínú ìtẹ́lọ́rùn yẹn, wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń pọ́nra wọn lé. So they value themselves, they carry themselves well. They don't rely on people's validation. They don't have to do show off or wait for comments or likes on social media before they believe in themselves. No. Fúnra wọn. They have high self-esteem. They are happy with who they are. Opinions of other people don't mean much to them, because from the inside they feel so strongly of themselves. And this is why everything around them exude confidence. it's just ó kàn dàbí pé wọ́n ti master ayé, ó kàn dàbí pé nǹkan kan rọrùn fún wọn. Ó dàbí pẹ́pẹ́yẹ, yes, ó dàbí pẹ́pẹ́yẹ tẹ́ ẹ rí lórí omi ni. Ẹ kàn máa rí i tá kàn dàbí pé ó kàn sùn sórí omi yẹn, ó kàn lọ peaceful. Ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ ẹ bá lè yẹ abẹ́ omi yẹn wò, iṣẹ́ tí ẹsẹ̀ pẹ́pẹ́yẹ ń ṣe lábẹ́ omi, wò làlàlàlàlà. Òun ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó fi ń move lórí surface yẹn o. On top of the water, it's so calm, it's so peaceful. It's so effortless the way they carry themselves. So effortless. Ṣùgbọ́n lábẹ́ ẹ̀, iṣẹ́ wà tí wọ́n ti ṣe. And this is what I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I believe you heard one or two things that you can take with you from the show tonight to work on. I'm sure there are areas of your life that you know, okay, I need to tweak this, I need to tweak that. And there are people around you that probably you have misunderstood. You've maybe termed them arrogant, or the arrogant people that you have maybe regarded as only confidence in you. Now I hope you know the difference between the two. These are the traits I've, been gathering in people láti ìgbà tí mo lè sọ pé mo wà ní báàbí primary 5. I just love watching people. And I watch some of these men. I don't want to be mentioning their names on the show because I just want their families to be but seeing them week in, week out, there's something striking in them. Even when I couldn't even put this trait or quality into words, when I can't explain it, I can pick that vibe. And then growing up into an adult, I understand some of these things better. And then I can watch other people closely. And then I understand some of these things. And I'm able to, put some of them into the way I live my life. So overall, it's all about intentionality. You have to be intentional with life. You have to know what you want. And you have to keep working on yourself. You have to keep working on yourself. You have to keep working on yourself. Every day you have to keep getting better and better and better and better. And that's all I have to share with you tonight. I greet every other person that are on the show, but more song kankan. My partner in crime, Olufikayo Elizabeth, Liz, our young capitalist nìyẹn. I greet my dear Yabich, Mr. Muturaya Adebari. I greet Opeyemi Jolanehun. I greet my senior colleague, Dr. Mrs. Atinuke Okwande. I greet Yolayinka Sani Adesoji. I greet my bro, Oluwafemi Esther, S3 Ayaba. I greet you, my brother, Fatai Quadri. I greet my auntie, Akinuli Yetunde. And àwọn ló tún wà ńbẹ̀ náà. Àwọn tẹ́mi sọ fún mi nìyẹn. Àwọn tẹ́mi sọ fún mi nìyẹn. Signal yẹn ò tún clear mọ́. Panzele mo wà. Wọ́n ti gbé lọ. Shoops! Mo kí ẹ o. Mr. Smash the Button. Right. Thank you very much for listening to me. I will leave you now to enjoy the rest of your evening. Àwọn tó bá sì fẹ́ gbé nǹkan lura, àyè ṣì wà. Kẹ́ gbé lura, kẹ́ dẹ̀ wọ bed. The weather is a bit cold. Kí tẹ́ ń ṣe a bit, ẹ má jẹ́ ń pọ́n. Òtútù. Òtútù. So, ẹ bu nǹkan mu. Kẹ́ yí sábẹ́ duvet. Until we meet again next week, Friday. Màmá wa o. Ẹ̀yin náà mà dẹ̀ máa bá. Àní dolódì ara wa o. Ire, ayọ̀ àti àlàáfíà látún fi pàdé. Ó dàárọ̀.
Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò máa ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ́rọ̀ pa òrí dání wọ́n. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pẹ́ kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe lọ́la ọ̀tọ̀ láì bá dé. Tread softly, dákun ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò máa ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣẹ̀rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ́mọ aráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò jẹ́ àríkùn wá ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó, ọ̀yàn ń lọ wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lá jẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ a ò mọ̀nú, ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò máa ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ńlá. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ jẹ́jẹ́.